Hello and welcome back to the Final Score. I'm your host, Nick, and let's get on into it. We are going to be talking about how MLB had the worst opening day of all time, as well as does MLB already need to shut down? Let's get on into it. On July 23rd, 2020, MLB had two opening day games. They had the New York Yankees at the Washington Nationals, as well as the San Francisco Giants at the Los Angeles Dodgers later on in the evening. However, this is where Major League Baseball is earning their worst opening title ever. You see, it wasn't the play of the games that made it the worst opening day ever. It was all the outside things going on. For instance, I have a little list here. We're going to just rattle them off. Number 1, Juan Soto tests positive for COVID hours before the first game. Arguably Washington's best player, especially with all the people that left the Washington Nationals in the offseason, contracts COVID-19 just hours before the first game. These are the defending champions, and you're already handicapped. Okay. Then it's not very nice for the Los Angeles Dodgers either, because Clayton Kershaw, their star pitcher, left-handed pitcher, gets put onto the IL as well. Now, it wasn't COVID related. It was something with his lower back tightening up. However, the Dodgers lose their opening day starting pitcher. Not only that, but this is a big day for MLB. This is a big day for sports fans in general because MLB is coming back. Sports are coming back. If you're a fan of the Big Four, yes, you're ready, you're excited. You don't care what's going to happen. Sports are coming back. Hockey. Hockey tries to steal MLB's thunder by making an announcement. Now, I don't know if you guys who are watching this follow hockey. I follow hockey. I love hockey. But the National Hockey League is expanding from 31 teams to 32. Back in 2017, they expanded from 30 to 31 by including the Vegas Golden Knights. Next season, we're probably going to be seeing a new franchise in the Seattle Kraken. Now, the Seattle franchise has been announced a long time ago. They just kept putting off the name. And then for some reason, on July 23rd, the same day that MLB was making their great big comeback, the Seattle Kraken decided to say their name. And I'm not going to lie. Whatever baseball thoughts I had went straight out my ears. But then that's not all. No. You see, hockey didn't just try to steal MLB's thunder. No. In fact, football tried to steal baseball's thunder. Oh, yeah. The formerly known as Washington Redskins, yeah, we'll get into that later, are officially changing their name. They have told other teams to take down their logo, any name of their previous names off of any merchandise. It's gone. The next football game won't even have the Redskins in there. So they needed a temporary name. Oh well, they sure put on their thinking caps for this one. Are you guys ready? They are now the Washington Football Team. Yeah, the WFT. All their fans are football team fans. Woo, go Teamers. Just sounds ridiculous. Now, that doesn't make me forget about baseball. Not in one bit, because that's a stupid name. Kraken. Now that is juicy. Not the football team. But this video is not about that. This video is how MLB had this card stacked against them from the very beginning. But not only that, but going in, They knew they weren't going to have fans, and just a little bit of the magic disappeared. Now, it's not completely ruined. I watched a couple of games since then, and games without fans are fine. Honestly, I kind of forget that there are no fans there, but this is your world championship winning team. They want to be surrounded by their fans, but they can't. And I just feel so bad for them. You know, first time ever winning a championship, and their fans can't be there. Now, some of them did take to going to the building behind the stadium and watching over above. You can't catch me doing that personally. I'd rather sit home and watch up close, but that's rough. To start your season as the world champions, to celebrate with no one, did you even accomplish anything? Yes, you did. You still won the championship last season, but you want to celebrate with the fans that helped carry you guys through the season. All right, but probably the worst part about all of this, this first game gets rained out. During the sixth inning, they were doing an interview with Rob Manfred. Yep, he was there. And I'm not going to lie, whenever I first saw him, I screamed, "Get out of here," because I hate him. He's a terrible commissioner of the MLB. He was there, and of course, that's when the thunder started to happen. Lightning was behind his shoulder. The rain started coming down even more, and they had to cancel the first game. Now, the Yankees were already leading in that game, and they decided to call it there. So the Yankees ended up winning the first matchup against the Nationals. That is a brutal way to start your season. It wasn't the play on the field. The play on the field was fine. Some pitchers were rusty. We knew that because they hadn't really had any good one-on-one trainings. They had a brief summer camp as well as a brief spring training back in March. But that doesn't prepare you for a full season like they wanted to do. And it really showed that they just weren't ready. But we made it through. And that was the worst opening day in baseball. But it doesn't get any better. Dare I say this is probably the worst opening week. Let me clarify that. Worst opening week of baseball. Because on July 27th, 13 members of the Florida Marlins, the Miami Marlins organization tested positive for COVID-19. That's a lot. I believe it was something like 8 players, and then coaches were the ones who were getting sick. That is a lot. So following that news, the program between the Baltimore Orioles and the Miami Marlins had to be put on pause. Right now it's under postpone, but that is terrible news for baseball. So did anybody else get affected? Of course somebody else got affected. Right before July 27th, the Miami Marlins were finishing up a series between the Philadelphia Phillies. The Marlins won the series 2-1, but now the Philadelphia Phillies are also postponing their games to test for their COVID-19 because they played against a team that tested positive. The Philadelphia Phillies were supposed to take on the New York Yankees, and now that can't happen. This is rough. And just today, July 28th, 2020, 4 more Miami Marlins have tested positive, bringing up their total to 17. Now, baseball, you need to get your stuff together. I was already skeptical from the beginning whenever baseball decided not to use a bubble. Now, hockey and basketball are doing bubbles for whenever they're coming back. And so far for basketball, it has been working great. There's only been a few cases of guys having to leave the bubble, but they are quarantining inside of the hotel rooms once they come back, and hopefully they will be able to go back down onto the court. With hockey, the players have just arrived to their hub cities in Ontario, Canada. No, not Ontario, excuse me. Edmonton, Canada, and Toronto, Canada. They are going to be the examples here. Now, football, soccer, the MLS has also uh, been brought back in a tournament style, but they are also doing a bubble style down in Florida. So it's not like Florida is completely dangerous. But the bubble seems to be working. And baseball, they are not doing a bubble. They are playing teams within a certain region of each other. That is dangerous. That's taking a lot of unnecessary risks that I know as a player I wouldn't want to be taking. Having to get onto a plane and fly to the next place. Now, baseball, unfortunately, they didn't get started. So it's not like basketball and hockey where they just want to wrap up their season as soon as possible. Baseball hasn't had a season to play, so they're trying to play the season. So I understand why they're doing it from their own home stadiums, because that would be a long time to ask their players to stay in a hotel. But right now, it's too dangerous to do anything else. Does the MLB need to be put on pause? I would say yes. And it pains me to say it because we just got baseball back, but I want the teams to be healthy. I don't want midway through, like, we're not even through with the first week, and there's already been an outbreak in Florida, no less. So coming from Florida, are we that surprised? No, because Florida's have had high COVID confirmation positive tests. But you know who else is having high positive test results? California. And you know who's in California? The LA Dodgers, the LA Angels of Anaheim, and Mike Trout's on the Angels. He's going to put his family first and foremost. He has a son that's due next month. So who knows what's going to happen, but this has just been a terrible week for baseball. You know, I'm grateful baseball is back, but I don't want to see it like this. I don't want to worry about the players. I was really hoping that the teams, that baseball would know what they were doing, but I don't know if they do. And unfortunately, I don't know if, you know, the other sports really know what they're doing. Hopefully football can learn from this. And they're going to be watching Major League Baseball and seeing how this works out, because they're not planning on doing a bubble. Frankly, it's too late to try and set up a hub city and fields and all that stuff for the football season. But they're going to be watching. Hopefully they can try to avoid the same mistakes that baseball is making. Baseball has made so many mistakes and just trying to come back, and I can't say I'm that surprised. But anyways, everybody, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in. I know it's a little different from the first one, seeing how I'm the only one here, but this is important. I wanted to report on it. I've been meaning to report on it. My overall feeling from the first week of baseball is, yes, it's back, but I'm worried. I'm worried it might go away, and I think that it should. Just for a little while, and I hate to say it. But thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.